Hello, and welcome to We're Golden, where we recap the Golden Bachelor from a golden perspective. I'm Kim Hodges, Content Kim, and I'm 60 years old, joined by
Jody Harrison Bauer, age 63.
And today we are giving you the authentic baby boomer take on America's latest TV obsession, the Golden Bachelor.
Hello, everybody. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you haven't watched it, or if you have already and you're just joining us for our recap, hope you enjoyed it. This was Fantasy Suites.
Yes, and they did do them both on the same night.
Right. I did not know how they were going to squeeze all of that into 1 hour, but I think they did just enough. Normally, it goes on to like, what are they thinking? And it's just too much. You don't need all that stuff.
Oh, they talk about what who's thinking. The other person?
They talk about their feelings more. It's like there's only so much you can get from feelings. You know what I mean? I think it was the perfect amount of time. It got us into, how he was feeling, how he was thinking. I think it was a perfect amount of time. Were you bored at all?
No,
No, neither was I.
I was thinking a lot.
What were you thinking about?
I mean, weren't you thinking a lot about everything? Like the whole time? Like I came out of that with a completely different perspective than I thought I would. And
I.
And that I'd had the whole time.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
I know what you're going to say then.
I know. Well, Kim and I were both texting each other during the show because the commercials were so cute. And it's interesting to see, and I'm sure everybody who's listening has noticed, but I never noticed the Pampers commercial.
No, I haven't either.
No, I think that's new. There were more baby type of commercials. I loved the commercial from Amazon with the older women.
That was so cute.
That was really, really cute. I've never seen that before. And then, of course, shingles and menopause. I love it.
Yeah. And then the George Clooney, which you got to have the good looking people in there. But the fact that they ordered those little pads to sit in was really pretty genius.
I know. Those are really, really cute.
Yeah.
All right. So let's get into it. He has the first date on the island. They're in Costa Rica with Leslie. And
wait. They're in
are they in Costa Rica?
Yeah, they're in Costa Rica.
Is that how you say it?
No, but did you not notice how he said it every time I wanted to go, stop it?
I didn't notice.
Oh, it wasn't Costa Rica. It was Costa Rica is what you're saying or something.
Oh, maybe he has like that Midwestern accent.
Oh, maybe. I was like, stop.
Maybe that's what it was. Not my, I don't know if it would be my choice to go to. It seems very humid there. Not good for good hair days at all.
No, Leslie's, both their hair seemed to be suffering, didn't it?
Well, look, here's the deal. As you get older, your hair gets coarse and brittle and thinner. And
okay, well, mine is not getting coarse. I keep waiting for it.
Well, you're lucky, Kim. You have one.
No, I want it to be thicker. I think that when it gets coarse, I keep going. If I get gray hair, my hair will be thicker.
Wait, so you don't have any gray hair?
No, it is very fine. My mother doesn't have gray hair. She's like 85. Isn't that weird?
Wait, and you don't have gray hair either?
No. Isn't that weird?
You are a genetic.
Well, I'm going to live to be 100
unicorn,
according to my genes. So I'm hoping my brain makes it
till 100.
Both my grandmothers have, and so yeah, I think if I don't get hit by a bus, I will.
How did you find out how old you're going to live till?
Well, I just figure with my genes that I have, I've got a pretty lucky chance.
Yeah, I'm planning on living until I'm 100. Also, my grandmother lived until she was 93.
Yeah, that's good.
So
as long as you have your mind.
Yeah, very true. But your hair looks great. I cannot believe you don't have any gray hair. And because you have fine hair, it doesn't get frizzy.
No, it just gets really flat. So my hair would be like, if I was in Costa Rica with them, I would just be like flat on my head.
No. So in the humidity, it
just goes completely flat and straight. Like you couldn't do anything with it.
Wow. And my hair goes.
Yeah. I love that. I wish my hair would go
curly. I have curly, wavy, not attractive hair. So I'm always straightening it. But anyway, both ladies had frizzy hair, and I really felt for them, because if I was on that island, I would not want to be on TV with that frizzy hair. I'd be like, Sev, he's the one who does my hair. Sev, where are you? Clearly he didn't do my hair today.
No, but once again, they didn't seem to care. They didn't really have the makeup on. They really didn't dress in the clothes, that they didn't care if they had a wedgie or not. Like, it was just sort of, this is what I am, which was very cute.
It is. And I think I don't want to give away who we're going to have on the show next week, because we want that to be a surprise. But he said, you just caught up in that bubble and you forget about everything else. So, and I don't know if if the Golden Bachelor was 3 months of filming. I don't think
it did say that. Oh, no, wait, he said 3 months of. So maybe, so I don't know.
So maybe it's 2 months, you know what I mean? But it's still a very long time to be without your phone, without family, without anything, except for that brief time at hometowns, but you don't have a phone. So
and he said they kept him so busy that there really wasn't, you're with somebody nonstop. So it's not like you get to go primp in the mirror and fix your hair and do all that. Like, you just don't do it. There's not time.
Ugh. I would be mortified to see myself.
I'd be like, yeah. Okay. Gerry said, and I did not realize this, he retired at 55.
I heard that. I was like,
55. He's been retired almost 20 years.
Almost 20 years. Yeah. So he's 72. So
that's too young to retire, but damn,
17 years.
He's kept himself busy, I guess.
He has. He seems, the vibe I've gotten from him in the past episodes and the vibe I got from him in this episode too, is that he's really adventurous. He's very active. He's very adventurous. He likes to do things. The things that he likes to do, I do not like to do. I would have felt like Leslie. I would have been scared to death to go down that cliff.
It looked pretty. It did look pretty tough, but that wouldn't have bothered me to do that. But I wouldn't like pick it to go do. I mean, I'm going to step up to the challenge and just have fun doing it. But that, like, I wouldn't want to go back and do it again. Just be like one and done with all of that stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
I think I would have freaked out. So on the date, he meets up with Leslie and he says, we're going to go swimming, or we're going to go to a waterfall or something like that. But here's the deal. You've got to plunge. What is it when you go down? Rappel.
Yeah, rappel.
You have to rappel down the side of the cliff in order to get into the water. And she, at one point she says, I want to go home, because she just didn't want to do it. And I thought, I'm right there with you, Leslie. I think I would have cried and said, do we really need to do this? I don't like doing things like that at all.
Really? That surprises me about you.
I don't. I'm a scaredy cat.
Have you ever been on a
zip line?
Yeah.
No, would. I think I would be okay with a zip line.
Yeah.
I have gone scuba diving.
And
that was a one and done thing. I was like, okay, did that. Have you ever done that?
I have a hard time with scuba diving. I don't know why. Like, my biggest fear of dying would be drowning. I don't know why.
No, that's a scary one. I was scared of getting eaten by sharks.
I think it's just the thought of not breathing under. Maybe that would be very traumatic to be eaten by a shark. But we did go zip lining in Costa Rica, and one of the times that we did it, you hang upside down and go down.
Okay,
like, I don't know why we did it. It was, and we all did it. I was like screaming. I was like that one screaming the whole way through, but still I did it.
I would have been screaming too. I would have cried and screamed. And then you saw as she's rappelling, that her knees kept going into the cliff because she didn't know how to do anything. That literally would have been me. I would have been like, oh my God, I don't know what to do. And I think she did cry. I think she did cry for a second.
Really?
I don't know. I'm making that up. But I could see like her knees were going in and she was trying to get the handle. And he was very lovely. He was exactly the way I would want a man to be. He was just so soothing, and he's like, you got this, I'm here. And obviously nothing was going to happen to her, but going through it, I think he was really the way you want a man to be.
Yes.
What did you think of him, Kim?
Theresa could have never done that.
Not with those skinny little legs.
No, I don't. I think she would have not been able to do it. I just don't.
I think that's why their date was much more tame.
Yeah. Getting on a horse. Yes.
So
And
what
Gerry
did
said, "I'm so proud of you."
I know you texted me that. Did you hate that?
I don't know. I was just like, yeah, I don't think he knows her well enough to say, "I'm so proud of you." I just don't think he knows her well enough to say that.
I think that's a very good point. I did like that he said it,
Yes.
but I did immediately think of that too. It's like, wait a minute, you don't know her that well. Maybe she's done something like this before. I agree with you on that point. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I did think he was soothing. And I don't, how do you feel when people say, I'm proud of you, Kim?
I don't know how. I mean, like, I like it when people say it to me, I guess. Like, I'm proud of you, but I sort of question it a lot, I guess.
Does it feel condescending sometimes?
Sometimes it's condescending, and then sometimes it's like if I say it to somebody, to my kids or something or whatever, I think I always want to say I'm proud of you for your effort, or I'm proud of you for this, or proud of you for that. But if I just say, "Oh, I'm proud of you for reaching that or whatever," it feels sort of like a little condescending, and also almost like I'm shocked you could do that. I
Right.
don't know. I bet it's a nice thing to say to people. It's just it has so many different it depends on who's saying it and how it's said. And
I agree.
yeah.
I like to be told that, someone's proud of me, or maybe not exactly those words because they sound very like you're talking to a child
Hmm.
sometimes, like, but
But
I
if I gave a speech to 5,000 people in an audience and I did a really good job and someone said I was proud of you, it would have to be that extreme of I'm proud of you, because it'd be very hard for me to do that.
right, right.
So
It
if
would
someone
have to
said it
be a big
about that,
feat.
a
Right,
huge thing, yeah,
right.
to really be an impact on me.
Well, I'm proud of us for doing this show. So
Yes, I am too.
yeah, good. I like that. All right. So she goes down there. She finally gets down there. He says, I'm proud of you. And they do seem, and then he kisses her. Their kissing and their embraces do not seem forced. It seems very authentic.
Hmm.
I don't cringe at all when I watch them kiss or embrace.
No, I don't either. But sometimes I feel like, and only on this time, that when she's having conversations with him, it's almost like she's faking her laugh a little, or not faking her laugh, but kind of like I just got a tinge of it tonight. Like maybe it's not as real, that part. I think all
Mm.
the other parts, but when they're like on the bed giggling or whatever, and those, she sort of thinks and then does her little laugh or whatever. Like
I
it's
picked
like that's what she should do. I don't know why I got that vibe tonight.
I picked up a little bit on that. I think she really cares about him. I think my feeling is she's had two failed marriages. She talks about being abandoned by men. Obviously, we know what happened with her father. It sounds like, I think he committed suicide. I'm not really sure, but he wasn't there for her in her life. So she was raised by her older brother.
Hmm.
And I feel that at this point in her life, at 64, she meets this man who seems very stable emotionally and financially. And I don't get the feeling that has had that emotional or financial stability. It's just an overall feeling. I think she's out there hustling. I think she's doing her thing. I think she's a great mom, great
Hmm.
grandmother. But I think the missing thing is the stability of somebody being there for her and having her back. And maybe I feel very strongly about this because I feel I've said this before. I could um relate to a lot of the things that she's talked about, being in a toxic relationship, not feeling alone. One of the things she said was every year on her birthday, she says, next year I don't want to be alone. Next year I'm not going to be alone. And I remember when I was single thinking this way, I don't want to be in this situation next year. I want to have my person next to me. I want to have somebody who wants to celebrate my birthday with me and the holidays and so on. It's a very lonely time
Yeah.
at any age.
Yeah. You know what? Okay. That's hard.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of makes me sad. But I think that a lot of people have that.
I think so too. I think a lot of
Yeah.
the women who were on the show, I think a lot of women that are relating to these women
Hmm.
and it giving them hope. I was talking to a dating coach, dating expert today to be on my show.
Hmm.
And she was talking about how many women are single over the age of 60. And she also said that she's been watching The Golden Bachelor and how it is making a huge impact on older women, that it is giving them hope. So
Good.
I
Okay.
know.
I don't know that they're going to find another man that's as can articulate emotions or experiences as well as Gerry does. But one thing I noticed at the end of that with Leslie, he said, "We have a story to tell."
Mm,
And he doesn't let an experience pass him by without bringing to light the greatness and specialness of it. Like he articulates it, which
yes.
when you do that, then I think it stays in your memory longer. Like I think literally when you have an experience and you say it out loud and you live it, and he made a point of saying we have a story to tell. That's
Yeah.
that connection thing he brings with people, which would be really good to have.
Yeah.
But he does it in a way that is like, do you have those friends that go, "It was the coolest. It was so fun. It was so cool." He does it really in the things like he can articulate every little special aspect of whatever it was he was doing and bring it to light.
No, he has a gift.
Yeah,
They
he definitely has a
he
gift
has a gift. He is very um very mature,
emotion.
yeah, and
Yeah.
emotionally he has a high emotional IQ.
Yeah.
He's just, and I liked when they went off to dinner, that he said, I really need to get some answers. I really need to find out, because I think he even admits that the relationship has been superficial up to this point and he
With
wants to go a little bit deeper with her.
Teresa or Leslie? With Teresa.
With Theresa, and I think with Leslie too. I
Okay.
think with both of them, he wanted to get some questions answered. And I don't know if he got it from Leslie. What do you think?
I don't think he did either.
No.
And that's why I think when she giggles or laughs, it's almost like she wants to be the more fun, like it's we're having fun together. But I know what you're doing the same thing I did when Teresa seemed completely different today.
Oh my God, I can't wait to talk about her.
Yeah,
I
I was
mean,
just like, what in the world?
I
Sh
completely agree with you.
She even changed her demeanor.
Everything,
Yeah.
everything. Oh, one of the things I wrote before they went, when they were sitting in the hot springs or whatever it was, they were sitting in the water. I think it was at that moment, Gerry looked really hot. I have not said he looked hot once, but he had the scruff and his hair was a little messy and he didn't look so, I mean, he doesn't look stiff anymore. I mean, I think that was at the beginning,
Yeah.
with the spray tan and whatever it was. But yeah, I wrote down, he looks hot with the scruff.
Huh.
Do you find him attractive?
I think he's attractive and then oh, I think he's very handsome. Yeah, I think he's very handsome. I
Mhm,
I don't know that I mean, maybe when you're with him in person, you may be more attracted to him.
mhm.
I don't know. But he he pretty much said you're the one to Leslie. Like
He
he
did.
said it. Like he said and then
Oh, wait, wait. They did talk a long time at dinner about, like, where do you want to live? He came right
mhm,
out. He's like, we need to, and she said, I don't want to leave Minnesota forever,
mhm. Oh, and
but
when he asked that, he was really looking at her like he wanted an answer.
oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Mhm.
He was very intentional with and that's the thing. And I think we've talked about this before. Everything he says is very intentional.
Mhm.
And yes, so she said, I would follow you. I would move to where you want to be. But I don't want to leave Minnesota completely. And I think
Yeah.
that makes sense. I can understand that. That's where her family is. But
But he said I can see us together forever. And what was the word he said? Forever being like what did he say? How did he say that? He said he how serious it is. Like he wants her to know how serious this forever thing is.
Yeah. And
What
what
it,
she said in that same conversation, which I was like, oh no, don't say that. She's like, I'm not good at commitment. And I did see him go,
mhm.
what? Like I saw his head turn a little bit. Did you notice that?
I didn't hear her say that, so I missed that part. I must have been
She
right.
said, I'm not good at commitment. Um, I'm not good at commitment. But she also then alluded to, well,
Was she? Is that what she was referring? She said I want to sabotage the things that are so good because I'm afraid they may not be that way forever.
did
But
she
she
say
doesn't
that to
want.
him
No,
or
she was
in?
talking. This is by herself, and then she said, but I don't want. I'm putting all my fears aside on this one because I don't want to do that with him. She said I
Mhm.
would much rather have him by my side than go through this sabotaging and ruining it for myself.
Yes,
And he said, I think you're the one.
he did. He did. He made her feel that she definitely was the one. What did he said? He said, he's like, I want to do the next morning. It was like, I want to do everything with you. I want to have coffee with you. I want to have
Yeah.
breakfast with you. I want to have lunch with you. And then I'll let you have some free time to yourself.
But then, literally, in the next second, when he's doing his little one on one interview thing, he says, I think our relationship was significantly improved. I was like, what in the hell? You just sat there and told her she was the one.
I
And then
know.
he said, she could certainly be the person. She could certainly be that person. I'm like, what? You just told her. You just told her she was the one.
I think he was scared. I think he got scared. I don't know why he said that. So when he did say that, and I remember, I think I even wrote it down, was that didn't lead me to believe that their relationship went to the next level
Yeah.
overnight. And I
Yeah.
don't think they had sex. I don't think they did.
You don't?
I don't think so. He said we laughed a lot. He was like, we laughed a lot. And they were both going,
Well, did you not
yeah.
think those were hints? They said about three things, like what they say, what they say, besides they laughed a lot, they said something else. I can't remember what it was, but I do like what Leslie said at the end, that she said, I'm confident in what we had and I have. That's all I can do. I'm just going to focus on that.
I did like when she said that too.
Yeah.
Um, and going back to the living thing, they did both say that they would both make it work.
Yeah.
If it, without saying it, if it was meant to be, but they both said it was worth making it work. So
Yeah.
what I didn't like was so the next day and they're talking in bed and blah, blah, blah. And then when he leaves her, he says, I don't know when I'm going to see you again, which I was like, what? He said, I don't know when I'm going to see you again. And then he said, when he left, I think she said, I love you. I don't know if he said it back, but he walked away and it was like a buddy saying goodbye to another buddy, like, see you,
It
bye.
was
And he like,
weird. It was very
right. It
weird.
was cold. He walked away. I'm not saying he was cold, but it was cold. It was like the way you would say goodbye to a friend. And he didn't even turn back to blow her a kiss or anything. He's like, bye. He kissed her goodbye. I don't know when I'm going to see you again. And I thought, you're going to see her at the rose ceremony.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah. And it didn't make me feel, if he left me like that, I would have felt, I'm not sure of our connection.
Yeah.
Right? You didn't get the feeling that he couldn't wait to see her, that he couldn't
No,
wait to
it was
propose to her.
definitely an awkward goodbye.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got the same. Yeah, well, I wrote it was significantly improved after Fantasy Suites. So I did write that down. Yes,
Yeah.
significantly improved. It sounds so clinical.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I wrote that was a weird goodbye to Leslie.
Mm-hmm. But okay, so I liked when he made the comments about it's so weird to have an overnight with one girl and then to wake up the next morning and spend it with a different girl, and I'm like,
Right.
what is that called? So I know when we were younger, you'd make like there was a saying of people who would like have sex with people, two people in one day. So I googled it, and all that came up with is you're a slut.
Slut. Right.
But that was not the word.
A slut. I think it is a slut. I think it is a slut.
I swear, I think there's another word. I'm going to ask my husband when he gets home.
All right, ask him. And he did say kick boots to Jesse, right? Didn't he
Mhm.
say that? Okay, so
Yes, and you
that
know
was
what else he said to me at the beginning with Jesse? I thought this might have been
they
my
were
cringe.
very cute together,
They were,
Jesse
but
and
when
him.
Jesse was like, TMI, Gerry, TMI.
I know, I know, I know.
And
So
he
cute.
said, this is what he said that I bet you every millennial was like, ooh. He said, at this age, sex, it's more gentle, slow. You can savor it. It's more special.
I did like that. That is true. But did you get a cringe? Did you get cringed?
I just got a cringe hearing it like out loud from one guy. Yeah, I was just like,
Yeah,
no.
yeah. But I was getting my dinner at the time and I was eating and I heard that and I was like, oh, that's kind of sweet. But
Yeah. No, I mean,
yeah,
it is kind of sweet, but it was kind of like also, ew.
I know. I know. So did you get the feeling that, I mean, he's been without his wife for 6 years, right? Do you get the feel? I mean, he's had to have sex, right?
Well, he's clearly done it with himself.
Correct. Yes, he says, yeah. So the big question is, so this is what the about the date I also didn't like. So they sit down, he's like, I want to ask you deeper questions. I want to get into it more. And she says, okay. And she says, when's the last time you had sex? And he laughs, and it was a good soundbite as a teaser. But I'm like, really, Leslie? And I love her. I'm like,
Yeah.
really, Leslie, you couldn't say, well, let me tell you briefly about my relationships, because going back to the guest we have for next week, he did tell us that they have an opportunity at that time to talk about things that are front and center in your mind that you want the person to know to take the relationship to the next level. And if
Yeah.
that's
To
all
know
she
about you,
had,
about your life.
right. So if
Yeah.
that's all she had,
Yeah.
Gerry's no dummy.
No,
I think he was a little disappointed in that because
I think he was
I think he
too.
took a step back and said, well, I really want to know, like, where do you want to live? Okay. So
Yeah.
enough about their date. Okay. So you lead us on with Theresa.
Okay. So Theresa, one of the things that she still is doing that thing that drove me nuts, where she's finishing every sentence that he said. So at the very beginning, he's saying, like, we haven't, I really want to ask you these questions. I want to, and I know, I know, I know.
Right.
He can't even finish a sentence without, I know. Yeah, blah, 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 blah. And I understand. And then she even went full into, I understand what you've been through. Well, I really don't, but like she just puts words in there and it just drives me cuckoo. But, and I thought she was so pushy for that very first part when she was like, I love you so much and I can't imagine my life without you and I have to have you and blah, 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 blah. That, that was really like, he was kind of like this a little bit at the beginning of that day, don't you think?
He was very quiet. He
Yeah.
did not seem to be into her at all.
Mm-mm.
Like he didn't even help her up with the horse. And
And she was behind. What was it she said when she was trying to get the horse to go? When that happened, I was thinking to myself, he's probably going, "Oh my God, catch up, you big wuss."
I know.
Yeah,
Yeah, right. Because she said, oh, I guess and I felt bad for her because again, I can relate to that feeling. She goes, oh, I guess we're going single file. Like he should have had her in front of him in case, God forbid, something happened to her.
yeah. She's also said this was what she said. I can picture the holidays with you. I can picture the holidays celebrating with you. And I just really want to meet your family. And he said she's the ideal woman for me. Like he said she could be the ideal woman, which
I
I'm like,
know.
I don't know where he got that when he felt like he was so on the surface with her.
I don't know either. That made me gag. I was like, Theresa, stop. Just stop. Stop. And it's not only what she says, it's her body language, Kim. She's always like this,
Yeah.
right? She's always
Mhm.
leaning into him.
Pushy. He said,
Yeah.
okay, he said, doesn't feel like we're not moving forward. It feels like we're not moving forward and we're not exploring new ground. I thought that was a
Mm-hmm.
good thing to say. Like he
Right.
seems to know the exact thing to ask and go
Mm-hmm.
straight to the whatever he wants to find out.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Um, yeah,
But
he
her,
does.
when he out of the blue, like, how did he never say, what did you do for a living?
Well, this shows you how superficial the relationship is, that what we're seeing on TV is maybe the extent of the relationship, that there's nothing more, because again, our guest for next week gave us some insight that, everything is on camera, and if it's not, we don't see it. So I think he didn't really know what she did, and so maybe
They just really had superficial conversations, I guess. I
yeah,
mean,
so I think it's very
I
hard to
didn't
connect.
yeah, but what she articulated in this was a lot more than her little bio said.
Yeah. So before they got into the nitty-gritty, I thought the date was mediocre. I was like, okay, he's definitely leaning more towards Leslie. I even wrote, he seems bored with her.
Yeah. He
You
did
got
seem
that?
bored with her.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So he wasn't really talking. Normally he's the really animated person. He's really looking out to pull the person in. And he was like, yeah, like you said, with her behind him and the horse, he was like, yeah, we'll catch up whenever the fuck you want to catch up. So then he
Then she
says,
put on a whole new demeanor.
oh my God, when he said to her, I don't even know what you did for work.
Yeah. And her story, that was pretty like she just started doing it, being a day trader on her own. And then her husband's like, well, you could get a job and we could get some insurance and that'd be good. And then she gets 7 security licenses later. Those are not easy to get.
I
So
know. And she's still
Kathy,
trading
she's
at
really not
70.
dumb. She's just manipulative.
Right. She's not dumb.
No.
There you go. She's not dumb. I was so impressed with her. So impressed.
Yes.
And I also, not because of the 7 licenses and what she did, but as you said, her whole demeanor changed. She wasn't like doing that lean in thing. She wasn't doing that wishy-washy, I love you,
Mousy. Yeah.
mousy, right? She wasn't doing that whole yeah thing.
Yeah.
She was just like, she was holding her ground. She was speaking intelligently and confidently. And I think, I'm sure everybody watching the show felt that way. And you could tell Gerry was like, whoa,
Yeah.
you're an accomplished woman. Not only are
Yes.
you hot, but you're also an accomplished woman. And now we have 2 dead spouses that we have in common. Like, maybe this is the woman for me.
And then she said, when he asked her about being in the suite, and she pretty much said, I mean, it was without any doubt, she does not take this lightly.
Yes.
Did you hear her say that? She was like, I do
Yes.
not take this lightly. And I was like, okay, she let him know.
Yeah. And she was
Like
very firm.
That's how important this is to me. Like, this isn't a light thing. I was like,
and I think he got a lot of answers from her, and a lot of answers he was hoping to possibly get from Leslie. Leslie did not give him, I'm all in 100%. The feeling I got from Theresa was that she's all in. She's an accomplished woman. She doesn't really need him for anything, except she does seem to love him.
And she said, what'd she say? I'm not ever really going to quit my job unless I have a reason to quit my job, unless you give me the reason to quit my job.
I love that. And I think he thought that her job was going to be something that they would have to overcome, that maybe she wouldn't move out to Indiana if she was still, going to an office and day trading. But I'm sure she could do it anywhere. I'm sure she was just doing it because she had nothing else going on in her life. And why not?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. But she made it clear she'd be glad to give it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sure at 70, she's like, yeah. So yeah, I thought they went deep. I think we're all impressed with her. He says, so wait, who was it? I think when they kissed at the end of the next day, I'm skipping. She says, I love you. And he says, and you know how I feel.
Oh, I missed that.
And you know how I feel.
Yikes. That's scary.
And then they go to
I definitely think they had sex.
I do too.
Yeah.
But I don't think he had it with Leslie.
I don't?
I don't. We'll have to find out.
Yeah. I just can't imagine that they didn't.
Well, I'm sure they got like naked and screwed around, but I don't know. I just didn't get that. When you get that glowy feeling, that intimate, I didn't feel it was as intimate as he was with Theresa.
Or maybe it was just awkward. Well, it seemed like with Theresa, they just hit the bed and went.
Yeah.
No chit chat.
Well, he was
But they
attracted
had
to
a
her.
very good conversation. She's maybe a little bit like him, that she can articulate exactly what she feels, and I'm taking it as being forceful, but she's really just saying how she feels. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe they are more alike. Their birthdays are close together, so maybe they're more aligned. I did
Maybe.
walk away liking her a lot more and maybe rooting for her. Maybe she
Mhm.
is the right match for him. I don't know. I could see them together, but as he says, Leslie's really fun.
Leslie's really fun, but I do think still think Leslie has and Faith too. They both have that little bit of whining they could do.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I
And I
see
don't
that
feel
with
like
Leslie.
Teresa has that whining thing, because I feel like she's just like, I mean, in the past I thought she was just there, but clearly she's really there. Like
She's
she
really
knows what she's
there.
doing. Yeah. Do you think she just saved that to the end to come off like, do you think she was playing the
No, I
mousy one on
no,
purpose?
I don't think she, in defense of her, I don't think she had the opportunity to ever step up to the plate and say, this is who I am. I don't think there was the opportunity because all you see them are on dates and you want to keep
Yeah.
everything light and happy. And the only time she would have ever said that was, I think, on their first date. Like,
Okay, so it is very interesting. Did he ask anyone what they did? There's one he asked about training. Well, I can't
well,
remember.
I think he knew Leslie was a dancer and a trainer.
Hmm.
He knew Faith was a singer, but it never came out that she was a radio host.
No, it didn't.
No.
That's
So,
weird, isn't it? I mean, the first
mhm.
question you'd be like, what did you do for a job all your life, like different times?
But maybe
Like, I
they
know
don't
you
have,
raised your kids, but what'd you do before your kids? Like, that'd be something I'd want to
right,
know.
right. I thought it was very odd too. But I'm glad they had that conversation. He's like, yeah, I
Yeah.
don't even know what you did for a living or what you do for a living. But I think he was more definitely asking because he wanted to get a little bit deeper. But I think it also was going to relate to where are you going to live if we make this happen. So living was not an issue with them.
No,
That was not an issue. Um,
no, I mean, I think Teresa's probably going to be his best pick.
Well, he does. So I wrote, he seems to be more connected with her. He says, as he walks away, so they kiss, he walks away and he says, don't forget about me.
Yeah, that's a weird thing to say too.
No, I don't think so. I think it's very cute. He says, well, I'll see you soon. Right. He says, I'll see you soon. He didn't say, I don't know when I'm going to see you next. He said, I'll see you soon. And then as he walking away, he goes, no, now don't forget about me. I think that was so cute.
That
It
is
was
cute. That is cute.
It's so
But
cute. Like, think about when you were dating Joe. I'm sure
yeah,
he
yeah. No, I think
said,
that is cute, but it is true. He didn't have the good goodbye with Leslie.
no,
Poor Leslie, she's not going to know how she blew it.
no. Well, she'll have to watch it. She's watching it now, so I'm sure she'll see it.
Yeah.
And then they showed the previews, and Leslie looks stunning.
Yes. Leslie
Yes.
looked pretty tonight too, I thought. And actually, I didn't think Teresa looked good at the beginning, but then when she kind of came out of her shell, I was like, oddly, what did she do with her facial expression and everything? It was weird.
I'm a fanatic about lighting, and the lighting's
Hmm.
terrible in here. And the lighting was awful when they were on that horse.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I mean, you saw every line on her face. I felt so bad for her.
Well,
You could
okay.
see
Also, what was she
Gerry.
wearing the next morning?
I don't know what the hell that was. That was like a onesie you'd put on a baby, right?
Yes. And then like her little butt was hanging out of the bottom and everything. I was
Well,
just kind
maybe
of
that's what
like,
she wanted.
I think so.
She does have a good figure. Those skinny little legs crack me
Yeah.
up.
Well, Faith
Um,
does too. I mean,
I wrote down
Leslie.
they both have skinny legs.
And well, Leslie's fit, you could tell.
Mm-hmm,
But
mm-hmm.
actually, Teresa's got muscle too.
She's got nice arm
Yeah.
muscles.
I
Yeah.
think those are natural.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
She has the big boobs. They're
I
big.
didn't notice that.
When she was on the horse and she was wearing a light colored shirt.
Oh, yeah. I thought it was weird. The shirt was really light colored.
Yeah.
Both of
So
their outfits tonight were very weird. Even Leslie's, I mean, yeah, Leslie's was see through too, kind of like you could see her bra.
in the
And it
blue
was
outfit, what she was wearing on Fantasy Suites.
when they were going on their walk to do the,
Yeah, I didn't like either one of their outfits. But Leslie looked very pretty for her dinner, and I
Yeah.
thought, yeah, I liked it with the pantsuit. I could see you in something like that. And Theresa, she just had on some black dress, probably something I would wear. Right,
That you would
right.
look fabulous in.
You in
As
the
always.
pantsuit with those long legs.
And you in the sexy dress with your
Yeah.
beautiful legs sticking out
Oh,
the bottom.
oh, look at us. We just love each other. But I thought Gerry, he's definitely won us over. And yeah, he's a
Mhm.
good guy. He's a good guy. We'll see.
Yes. What do you
Um,
think?
who do I think he's gonna pick?
Yeah, after he almost throws up and gets pissed off and is so upset he has to hurt somebody, which would be very hard.
I always wished it was Leslie. I don't think it's gonna be her. I think it's gonna be Theresa now. I think she won him over with that. She was just so strong and composed and intelligent and confident that, right, you refer to her as a mouse. That's a great way to describe her. She was always so mousy and even a little whiny.
Hmm.
Um, and I just don't think that Leslie exuded the confidence in them and a future together as much as Theresa did. She expressed that she was all in.
And also, Teresa has a lighter attitude when she's around him, like a
Yes.
more happy go lucky, a little bit, where I feel like Leslie has a little bit of a cloud. I don't know what it is.
I think she's scared. I
Or a
think
little,
she's,
she's a little melancholy. Like she doesn't have the little giddy in her. Like the giddy, like the little girl that saw the Christmas tree for the first time.
and I think she's, when you refer to her laugh, I think that's her trying to be light, but I think she's probably very
Oh,
intense. Don't you
okay.
think?
Yeah, that's good. That's a good point. Hmm.
And I
She
think
is just more intense.
she's more intense. I
Hmm.
think Theresa is too, but I think maybe Theresa knows herself better. Maybe she's more self-aware. She
Hmm.
was only in the one relationship with her husband who died
Hmm.
versus Leslie, who was married twice and is scared of commitment.
Hmm.
And, I get it. I was
Yeah.
married once before, but that shouldn't be held against her. She's still trying to figure so. And I think he's looking for somebody without any fucking drama.
Yeah. Why would you ever choose anyone with drama? I don't care if you're 30 or 80.
Right.
Don't pick the person with drama, anyone,
Right. Right. And
because
I
you're going to have a
don't,
life of hell.
I think she comes to him. I think Theresa comes to him very whole.
Yes, that's a good point.
Yeah. So I think his pick is going to be her. And I wouldn't be upset.
No, I don't think I would either. And early, I mean, up until this episode, I would think, well, if you end up with her, you just, you
I
must be an
know.
idiot. But
I
now I
know.
can have a completely different point of view.
I know. Isn't it crazy how it changed?
Yeah. I hope it did for everyone. I mean,
I think
I hope
it
it was
had
kind of
to.
like a general consensus.
It had to.
Yeah.
So I don't think we can do our superlatives because there's just the two of them and
Hmm.
it doesn't even matter at this point. Do you think that the person, if we both think Theresa is going to get the final rose, do you think Leslie would make a good Golden Bachelorette?
I do. I didn't early on, but after watching her at the very end, I thought she handled herself very well and she seemed like she was more confident. I think like you were talking about Joan getting in the chair with
The hot
Jesse,
seat,
she has,
yeah.
yeah, she has a chance that she would be really good at it too. Um,
Everybody is saying that Joan, it's because she got the hot seat with Jesse,
mhm.
because she left early, because she has that story that she is in the running for the next Golden Bachelorette.
It'll be interesting to see who they pick.
I know.
I mean, how old is she?
I think she's 60. She's only 60.
Joan's only 60.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know where my papers are.
Yeah, she's six.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
And
that
Faith
she's
is
60.
too.
No. Oh, yeah. Faith is 60 and
Maybe Leslie's 65.
Leslie's 64.
Leslie six. No, no, no,
She's,
not Leslie. I'm sorry. Joan. You think she's 60?
I'm pretty sure. Do you have your notes?
Yeah. Let me see on here.
Yeah, I think Joan is 60. I think she looks older than 60. Ah, sorry.
I do too.
Like, I think maybe, I don't know. She looks very pulled,
Mm-hmm.
which makes her look older.
Yeah.
I mean, she's got a nice figure.
Mm-hmm. She's
Um,
on her social. Oh, she's 60 also. Yeah.
yeah,
Wow.
yeah, she's only
Mm-hmm.
60.
Oh, that's
So,
funny. The first thing I pull up is from Screen Rant, and it said Joan, a 60-year-old school administrator from Rockville, Maryland, would be the perfect star of the Golden Bachelorette. She's beautiful, kind, and soft spoken. She's a good listener and empathetic toward other people.
boring.
Yeah.
Boring. Give me some feistiness. Give me some fire. I still think April would be the best Golden Bachelorette. As much as I would love to see Faith and Leslie as front runners,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think ABC needs to go back and look at April. She's just a spark plug.
Yeah, she is a spark plug, and she would be funny as hell.
Right. That's the whole
And it would be
thing.
really interesting if they could find a guy for her, because whoever she picks is going to be completely different than a Gerry.
Completely.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And that's the other reason, like these other women liked the Gerry, but I still don't think, I heard somebody talk about that. Gerry really isn't Leslie's type. I think she looks at him like, are you really my type? I do think he's handsome though. He's probably better looking in person.
Yes. But
Like,
this picture, so like Joan does a really good, that's a good picture for someone
gorgeous.
with a plaster everywhere. Like she
Mhm.
just kind of has that sexy va va boom. April has it, but April almost puts it out there so obviously.
Mhm.
Hers is sort of that hidden, I'm sexy kind of.
Yeah,
And
she's a
her Instagram's been showing it more than she ever showed it on the show.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, she just has a personality. She's not only beautiful, but she's cute and
Who?
feisty.
April?
April.
Yeah.
She's cute and feisty, and I think she's willing to put it all out there.
Yeah.
Whereas maybe Faith and Leslie might be too timid.
True.
That's Fantasy Suites. We've got 2 weeks, and then we're gonna see who gets the final rose.
Okay. But next week we have our great guest that's going to be. So it'll be
Should
out
we
Tuesday. Are we doing it
announce who it
Tuesday?
is? Should we announce who it
No,
is? All right, we won't announce who it is.
I
We're
don't think so.
so excited. We're
Yeah.
so excited. I think we're gonna release it if we can get our clips and we can get our shit together with this, because I haven't listened to everything yet. Yeah,
Tuesday.
Tuesday. Yeah, hopefully. Yeah, I think that would be a good release date.
Yeah.
You guys are gonna love it. He's beautiful.
And so much information that I didn't know
So much.
about the show. I mean, and everything he's done, but about the show, like a lot.
Yeah,
But it was really interesting.
should we give one hint? You give one hint.
He loves to play golf.
Okay. Okay, that's a good one.
What's your hint?
Oh, I was gonna say something more obvious, like I'll just that he was on The Bachelorette.
Okay.
Right. But Bachelorette's been around for a while. So Kim, this was a great episode, lots of fun. Please follow us at Content Kim for Kim and me at Jody Harrison Bauer. And until next week, oh, remember to rate, review, and subscribe. And please DM us, message us. And until next week, stay golden, everybody. Bye.
Stay golden and have a happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.